Okay, so the last thing we need to do to finish our pop animation is repeat the motion in the circle. There's a really handy tool inside Shape Players that lets you do this exact thing, and it's appropriately called a repeater. So let's add that now. But we've only got one line and we want an entire circle of lines. So to do that, we're going to need to add another Shape Player property. So we're going to go to Add here, where we found our trim path. So click on this, and then we're going to add Repeater. So click on Repeater, and that will appear down below your Shape Player. I like to keep everything inside the shape, so just out of practice, I'm going to put it below the trim paths. Open that up, and then we've got some more options here. So this allows you to copy whatever is above it, and you can move the copies. So let's move forward a little bit so we can actually see our line. And you can see maybe it's doing something here. So we've got 3 copies at the moment, 1, 2, 3. And if you roll down the transform in the repeater here, so you go, let me just make sure that's not confusing. So if I close everything, shape, open the repeater, and then open the transform inside the repeater. So transform repeater, you don't want the transform shape or the transform at the bottom. You want transform repeater, so open that up. And you can see here, it's moving 100 in the X dimension. So for all positions, unless you're working in 3D, it's X and Y, and X is horizontal and Y is vertical. So we want those to actually both be 0. So make sure, so go in, so this is like the default repeater offset. So just make that 100 0 in position. Now they're just 3 on top of each other. That's why you can only see 1 again. But what we want is rotation. So we want to rotate. So we want to rotate our copies all the way around. We want it to just make a complete circle. So we might need to do a little bit of maths. You basically need to choose how many you want and then divide that number by 360. I hope everybody remembers their middle school mathematics. I think I'm going to make 8. So I'm going to make 8, so I'm going to type in 8. And I'm not going to get the calculator out because there is a very handy thing in After Effects. You can actually do maths inside these little boxes. So I'm going to click on the 22 here, which I've randomly scrolled to. And I'm going to type in 360 divided by 8, 45 degrees. So maybe some of you who are better at maths than me knew that off by heart. But I find this really handy. So you could type any number in there and then you can, so let's say we wanted 50 copies. I don't know, go to 360 divided by 50. And there you go, you got a perfect circle of them. So maybe you want something like that, but I'm going to go for a nice 8. So I'm going to do 360 divided by 8. There we go. So now I'm going to hit play on that. So there we go. And that's the pop done. Amazing. Well done for getting this far. That's definitely the hard bit over with. And hopefully you've got some nice pop animation that's similar to mine. Let's have a quick recap of what we went through in this lesson. After the animation was done, I then took you through adding another special property to the shape player called a repeater, which makes it so that you can repeat the same shape over and over again. And if you did it around the rotation axis in the middle, then you should have a ring of pops now. I then showed you how you can do basic mathematics inside number properties inside After Effects. This works on any property where there's a number, so you can just click on the number in After Effects and you can do a bit of maths in there to give you the correct result. And we then applied that to our repeater circle. So I wanted 8 repeaters, so I just typed in 360 divided by 8, and that gave us the degree of separation for each repeated animation. Great, so we're nearly there. The next thing to do is to use our pop for something. And for that, we're going to be going back to our balloons template and adding it into the animation. So I'll see you there.